everyone, it's Liam Carrison here, and we're delving into another episode of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. It is time to get into episode 4 for this season. Great starting point to this journey that Percy, Annabeth, and Grover are on with the last episode as we encountered Medusa. And it was really, really great stuff. Of course, there were struggles amongst the group with, you know, differing opinions and whatnot, but it was a great starting point. One that ended with Percy potentially causing violence by sending the head of Medusa to the gods. So I'm sure that's going to have no repercussions whatsoever. But I'm looking forward to delving into this. It's been a really, really great show so far. For me, I'm halfway through. Because I believe episode 6 dropped for me yesterday, but yeah, I've still got a few more episodes to go through until I get to that point. So with that said, why don't we get into this episode of Percy Jackson and the Olympians? It's episode 4. Let's go.
To do this if it wasn't safe, right? Percy,
Patience there.
it could
Come
be
on.
dangerous for you if you don't know how to do this. One day it could be really important, and I may not be there to help you when that happens, so I need to make sure you...
I feel like it's going to be very instrumental for what's going to happen in this episode.
Attention. A forbidden hero. Well, they attract doom. She is coming.
Rose Tyler.
Talia. She made me earn it.
Is that why you give me a hard time? I gotta earn it with you too?
Been in this predicament before, I guess.
Tension. I gotta beat up on Clarice just to get my father to admit he's my father.
It's kind of elitist.
People who are close to you aren't supposed to treat you that way. You awake?
I am now, thanks.
Are you okay?
He's super grouchy when he doesn't get enough sleep.
He's super grouchy when he doesn't get enough
Well,
sleep.
who isn't, to be fair?
We've never been on a boat with him before. A little different than Foofy boarding school.
Who's Froofy? You're Froofy.
Oh no.
Froofy.
It's like you need me to make fun of you.
Shoot. I've never been to Los Angeles before. I'm guessing neither of you have been to Los Angeles. So, how will we have any idea where we're going?
No idea.
I mean, that helps.
You want to explain?
Yeah, oh, that was the thing that barged in the window.
Did you?
Right.
The train is arriving at St. Louis Gateway Station in 10 minutes.
I don't think he's a monster.
No, I think something,
Well, if he's
yeah.
not a monster, what's going on here? Why would anyone tear our room apart?
Maybe they were looking for something.
Or maybe they're just trying to delay
I
you.
don't think you stole Zoo.
Isn't that right, Precious? Don't children get scared when they're all alone? It's okay.
What the?
I'm a mom. I know how scared you must be.
I don't trust her.
Excuse me. Would you mind giving us a little space?
Mm-hmm.
Like you sent them all packing.
But sass.
Monsters like me.
Oh no.
Of course they're like me. They were my children.
Children?
Oh.
What does that
Oh.
So she could learn and grow because
Oh no.
that's what a good mother does for her children.
Oh no.
Not that you would know.
Oh wow, was there any need? Oh shit, it just pierced Percy!
I think so, why? Do you think it's poisonous or something?
Oh shit! It's gonna be poisonous. Deadly to the touch. Oh no.
Well, since our train exploded, I'm gonna see if there's another one we can get tickets on. We can't stay here forever.
That's if you're not most wanted at this point.
Just because we're prey doesn't mean we need to be helpless.
Wise words.
He doesn't like it when...
Just in my head that I tell myself my mother cares because it's easier that way.
I didn't say that.
Were you thinking it,
I've
though?
only been a demigod since, for me, in the past few days, my father's done in my entire life. If I have to stick with someone...
Oh.
Careful. I think you're about to call me a friend. Somewhere around here, the Oracle is laughing at us, but you know...
Ah! Well, this is not a laughing matter, is it? Oh, no.
Ricky, this is a great call.
Well, it's slowing it down. Oh,
Or
no.
not.
Maybe it needs to be natural
shit, he's
for the
pale.
decided to be able to heal him.
I think we've been found. That or someone's deciding to take Grand Theft Auto, into reality. Ah, shoot.
Here, how did any monster get inside here?
Annabeth?
We're in a sanctuary. Athena would have had to let her in, but why would she do that?
Annabeth,
Unless she
what did
ordered
Echidna say to you?
this to happen.
She said my impertinence wounded my mother's pride.
I mean, Athena is her mother, so... Athena took that personally.
Take this.
You just worry that something might... Oh! You son of a... I mean, he's vulnerable. He's not going to drag anyone else down to vulnerability. Oh, no. I mean, some could say Percy is definitely playing with fire facing the Chimera, but... there's got to be something, right? Oh! But the water's gonna... Is he hanging on? Yeah, he's hanging on. Ah! Shit, he's gonna have to slip. Oh, shit. Imagine people seeing this shit as well. Oh! Oh! Oh!
Your father is here. He's always been here. It is so
Has he,
hard for him
though?
to stand back, to see you struggle. It is so hard for us all. But he's here.
Can't intervene, but he has to.
Just
Wait. His mom? His mom! I did say this would come back to clutch in the future part of the episode. Oh. Now Poseidon helps. Now. But there does also seem to be that, like, kind of like you're being held back vibe, and fine, it's that moment, that dire moment that it's like I can't stand back, and yeah. So yeah. But obviously that was, I'm guessing that sea creature didn't, she's not exactly Percy's mom, but yeah. The voice and the lessons, like I said, it would come back to clutch, and it did at that moment when Percy just fell. So... And yeah, his dad finally came to play, so... Ooh. Cutting it close there, Poseidon. Cutting it close. So yeah, it's great that Poseidon has come out to play now. In a dire time, of course, because it wasn't looking good. I mean, he was getting absolutely shambled by the Chimera, so But it was great for him to come out to play, because there is this held back nature. Seemingly, it's not so much that there is that vibe that it's not so much that he doesn't care, but he can't intervene, I guess. So unless it comes at a dire time, like right now. So yeah. But yeah, it was great to have Knuckles in this episode. Echidna, get it? Oh man. It was a very, very interesting episode where we peered into certain characters. Of course, you had Annabeth delve into a very heartbreaking situation in regards to how Athena created her, and with this man, she became a gift until the said man, had a family with another woman, and yeah. So there was this heartbreaking situation in terms of peering into Annabeth's story, and we did get quite a bit of like Annabeth in this episode, like especially with the arch, with the temple for Athena as well. So I really did enjoy delving into a bit of Annabeth in this episode. Whether it be, talking about the arch, whether it be talking about how she came to be. It was really great stuff. Same with Grover as well, because he was, lamenting about the fact that with his path, he especially with how poignant it is, given the whole with his uncle and how his story, sadly came to an end. There is a bit of poignancy in terms of him becoming a searcher. So, yeah, we delved into a bit of the other characters in this episode, which is really great to see. So, yeah, but yeah, Annabeth's story was really great that we had, I feel like, a more connected bond with, like, that's it though. We started out with this episode, after the flashback, with a more connected atmosphere, because there was still a bit of friction in the last episode, which is not something I'm complaining about whatsoever. I actually liked the friction, even though it's like, come on, we have to work together as a team. But looking back at that episode and looking in this episode and seeing the group being more bonded, not just in terms of Annabeth sharing her story, but also in terms of a dire situation, it's really nice to see. So yeah, I'm really liking how things are solidifying with the group, even to the point of the very end as well, because Percy was going to give his life up to at least try to put a little bit of a dent in the Chimera. Like I said, he was getting owned left, right, and center, but he wasn't 100% as well. And you could even see he looked white as heck. So, like he was properly ill. So, yeah. But at the end of the day, not just is he not going to drag anyone else down, like he's the most vulnerable at the minute. He is poisoned. He's not gonna, like, he feels like he's not gonna make it to the underworld given his dire situation, and he's not gonna drag anyone else down with him. So not just that though, but with the revelation that the Echidna and the Chimera are after, them lot because of the whole Medusa head situation, there's a little bit of a responsibility for Percy, because he was the one that he was the main accomplice in terms of sending the head to the gods. But the gods are getting, but with Athena, she was absolutely embarrassed. She was absolutely mortified, and decided to give the trio a good bollocking. Mainly Annabeth, of course, given the fact that, Athena is the mother of Annabeth. But still, there is that responsibility from Percy, and he must take it upon himself to, sacrifice himself. Even though that Annabeth was going to do it. Like I said, Percy was not going to drag down anyone else. And you had Annabeth tease to Percy that he was veering on the, on the verge of calling her a friend. And he was looking out for his friend at the end of the day, because he was whilst he was vulnerable and whilst he was not 100%, he was not going to drag Annabeth down with him. Nor was he going to let slide something that he feels is primarily his fault. So there is that really, really great. There is that really great heart about Percy at the end of the day. So, yeah. But I also really liked how this episode again delved into the whole monsters debate as well, because, it's been a very prominent theme in regards to the subject of monsters. In regards to, obviously, we had that, message from, Percy's mom. I think it was in the first episode, in regards to the fact that she was warning about the fact that just because someone is a monster doesn't make it so, and all of that. But we had with Medusa in the last episode talking about the whole monster term with her story, and we now have the Echidna chalking down the demigods as the more monstrous more monstrous creatures. So I really, really did find it a very, very great continuation on the subject of that, because it is a very, very great thing to carry on with, with Percy's mom, with the Medusa in the last episode, and now in this episode, we have the Echidna, taking offense of the fact that she's been deemed the monster when she's not the monster, especially with what happened in the last episode. So, yeah. Of course, the little chimera was putting a bit of skepticism, but it's like this whole debate on we're not the villains and all of that, isn't it? So whilst you have Percy, Annabeth, and Grover, I guess, as the main protagonists in this series. Yeah, it is kind of like that whole. It is kind of like that perspective situation from the people, from the creatures like the Echidna, like from the Medusa. So, yeah, but I also really love the fact that during that train sequence, to the human guys, it was a little puppy just wandering around. So, yeah. Always love the fact that they do delve into, the human perception of what they are seeing and all of that. So, yeah. But there's also a detriment as well in terms of course, Grover's story as well, in terms of, with the centaurs and all of that, why there aren't as many as there were before. So yeah, but very, very tense stuff with this episode. So yeah, also really like the fact that we did delve into Percy and his obviously you had those kind of you had that kind of situation when he was reflecting about his dad and how he's never and how he's not really fussed. He's never been there, and I felt like it was a very, very great point to hammer in regards to what happened in the ending of this episode when he did help, because he did say to Annabeth, you've been more involved, and I've barely known you than my dad actually has. So yeah, and you know, there are sad circumstances in regards to Annabeth and obviously her parentage as well. So yeah, but I did like the fact that we did delve further into the whole how you know burnt Percy is in regards to you know how Poseidon's never been there and all of that. So yeah, but yeah, I really did like the fact that we eventually got to that moment. I wasn't sure in what context you know the beginning scene would relate to what would happen further on in the episode, but you could just tell, oh, that's going to play relation, isn't it? And of course Poseidon coming in clutch. Yeah, I did like that moment where we kind of got well, I wouldn't say a full circle of sorts in regards to obviously Percy's you know backlash against Poseidon, but it's a good starting point, I guess you could say, because Percy, with the fact that he says Poseidon has not been there for me ever, this is a little bit of a change of a scenario, isn't it? Because of the fact that Poseidon, you know, did try to pull some strings in regards to saving Percy in some degree. So, and how it ties into the beginning scene with Sally telling him to just breathe, it was a nice touch. So, yeah, but. Yeah, I really loved, you know, even if this episode was a bit shorter than the others, I really enjoyed how things went by. So, yeah, awesome stuff with this episode of Percy Jackson. So I'm excited to see what episode 5 entails. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!